Hello, hello, hello. We are here. We made it. We made it, Brandon. We had a little bit of a situation, but we're good. We're here. We're ready to get started.
You know, I'm about to turn 40. I just learned what a situationship was.
No, he didn't. That's a lie. He's been known what a situationship is.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm telling you.
Listen, we have so much to get into today. Let's just dive right into it. First and foremost, the breaking news from yesterday afternoon. Dame time is now Central Time. The Portland Trail Blazers have traded Damian Lillard to the Milwaukee Bucks. As you can see here, his new teammate is now Giannis. Now, Lillard goes to Milwaukee as part of a 3-team deal. So here we go. The Bucks get Damian Lillard. The Blazers get Drew Holiday, DeAndre Ayton, Toumani Camara, 2029 first-round Bucks pick, and a Bucks pick swap. The Suns get Nurkic, Nazir Little, Keon Johnson, and Grayson Allen. So it's a 3-team deal, none of which are the teams that we thought they would be. So this is very interesting, Brandon. I mean, obviously the trade to Milwaukee is more than interesting because it has been adamantly reported for months, I feel like, that Miami was Lillard's only trade destination, his desired trade destination, rather. And he was not going to go anywhere but Miami. Now, it is important to note that Damian Lillard did not have a no-trade clause. So unlike Bradley Beal, who was able to dictate where he went, DeAndre Ayton and Damian Lillard did not have that same privilege. So basically, he had to go where he was traded. Now, I say this all the time. There is an unspoken rule in the NBA that when a superstar asked to be traded, usually you try to adhere to that trade destination by any means, especially a superstar like Damian Lillard, who has been loyal to the soil, as we like to say, for the Portland Trail Blazers his entire career. Now, Aaron Goodwin, the agent of the 7-time All-Star, gave this eye-raising quote when applauding the Heat's dedication to the pursuit of a trade. He said, quote, "They did everything they could to acquire Dame. It takes 2 to get a deal done. I appreciate all that Pat, Andy, and Mickey Arson, the owner of the Miami Heat, did to try to make this happen." So before we bring another layer into this, Brandon, I mean, it's clear that Miami did everything possible to go ahead and acquire Damian Lillard, that the Milwaukee Bucks rather gave either a package that was more appealing to Portland, or Portland just never had a intention on playing ball with Miami to begin with.
It seems like, no pun intended, it seems like Miami dropped the ball, right? Because you talked about this, I think it was a day or two ago. Pat Riley came out and said, look, we like Dame, but we don't need Dame. I like my guys, right?
Well, before you finish that thought, let me give you this information. It came out earlier today, Shams tweeted this out, that the Miami Heat actually offered Tyler Hero, Nicole Jovic, 3 first-round picks, first-round pick swaps, and multiple second-round picks for Damian Lillard. The Portland Trail Blazers had no interest in engaging with that deal. They allegedly wanted, in addition to, I guess, what was offered, or in lieu of what was offered, either Jimmy Butler or Bam Adebayo, where Pat Riley said no deal.
You know what makes this actually makes sense to me? Who's the head coach for the Portland Trail Blazers? Chauncey Billups. Chauncey Billups, you got to think about this. You know, obviously a legend. I don't think he's in the Hall of Fame. Should he be in the Hall of Fame? That's debatable. But phenomenal coach, but he's on borrowed time, right? Like everybody else. If they can fire all these other legends in the NBA, it seems like they move quick, right? I mean, the NFL, the same thing, but it's like the NBA, like, damn, halfway through the season, you might be above 500 and they still fire you, they still let you go.
Right.
So it makes sense to me because Chauncey Billups is probably looking at this situation like, I want to win now. So all those future first picks and second round picks, y'all keep that. I need to save my job, and I want to surround my young first round superstar pick with guys that could potentially help him. When you look at Ayton's over there, who else is over there?
Ayton's over there now. Drew Holiday. Tamani Kamard, and then they actually have picks and things like that.
I read something else, Ashley, where they said that they may move Drew. They're looking at.
There's multiple teams interested in Drew Holiday.
But if they keep Drew, I actually like the Portland Trail Blazers to be competitive. So I think that, you know, now that you read what the Heat offered, because initially I said the Heat probably dropped the ball.
Yeah.
But it seems like Chauncey Billups was the one that's probably like, yo, I'm not going to go out there and wait for a 2027, 2028 first-round pick. What am I going to do with that? I'm not even going to be here.
I don't think it was on Chauncey Billups at all. I think that the front office wanted to go ahead and try to rob Miami of everything they possibly could. Or you could also look at it from a perspective of they had absolutely no desire to trade Damian Lillard to his preferred destination.
Why?
Organizations are weird like that sometimes.
Weird like what? Explain to me.
Organizations sometimes, and this is where, you know, the conversation of players doing what's in the best interest of them and not being loyal to organizations always comes in, because you would think a trade package like that is sexy. Let's be honest.
It's beautiful.
That's a beautiful trade package.
Beautiful,
and
sexy,
in terms of what the Blazers got from Milwaukee, some will say it's better in the long term and in the immediate. Obviously, Drew Holiday is a sensational talent, but I would say that overall, what Miami could offer was great. It was up there.
Sensational.
Drew Holiday's he's a great
sensational.
Defender. Yeah, he's a great defender.
Yeah, but when you say sensational, that's more like offensive.
He's a great talent. There we go. I think that what happened is that Damian Lillard may have shown his cards a little bit too soon. From the gate, it was Miami, 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 Miami. Right. I'm not going anywhere but Miami. And sometimes organizations tend to be, oh, you want to go here? I'm not going to send you there. And I think this is what happened, because if you are the Portland Trail Blazers and Miami offers you Tyler Hero, Jovic, who's a young guy, 3 first-round picks, first-round pick swaps, and multiple second-round picks.
That's right.
And you are trying to build your franchise up again when Dame leaves, and you already have a young core. You don't look at that deal and say that's a perfect fit. Your first answer says, no, give me Jimmy and Bam. That's a team that did not want to play ball to begin with.
No, I say and that's why I hear you on the organization side, but if you're Chauncey Billups as the head coach, well-respected across the league as a player and now as a coach, what is he going to do with those picks? Because the NBA is weird. The NBA
had no say-so in this situation.
Why you think that?
Because the GM and the front office and the owners are the ones who usually, unless you are
that's not true.
Unless you're a coach who has crazy tenure, like you're a Phil Jackson, I'm telling you right now, Chauncey Billups did not say, oh, they want to give me all this. No, I want Bam Adebayo. That's not what happens.
You think Chauncey Billups? You think Chauncey Billups sitting back and not has no say-so over the roster?
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that I don't think Chauncey Billups was the one who said, give me Jimmy Butler or give me Bam Adebayo.
No, what I'm saying is, Chauncey, I can see Chauncey Billups in a meeting, personnel meeting, sitting with the owner, sitting with the general manager, and everybody else in the personnel department saying, guys, you guys will be here in 28, 29. I'm not going to be here. So those first-round picks and those future second-round picks is going to do nothing for me. So y'all might as well just let me go right now, because I'm not waiting around with what I have right now and then what I can have in 28, 29. You know you're going to fire me next year.
I don't think that's how that happened, Brandon.
Why? Well, I mean, what we do know is we don't know what happened, but I'm just giving a different perspective, and there's no way anybody on this earth can tell me that a Chauncey Billups wasn't a part of the conversation. Because think about it as a coach. I agree with you. 100%
why would
a coach sit back? Think about this, Ashley. Why would a coach sit back? Because this is what's weird about the NBA. A lot of times when we see these trades and you see first round, second round, this and that, it's 3, 4, 5 years out.
Right.
If you don't win now as a coach, you're out of there. Even general managers. So why would a coach even be open to?
I agree with you that did Chauncey Billups have some, was he present in certain conversations? I agree with you 100% there. Of course he was. It's Chauncey Billups. It's not, Joe Schmo from around the street. But I disagree with you about him having just this instrumental influence, because the Portland Trailblazers notoriously, even through a lot of Dame's tenure, have been absolutely atrocious at getting talent. Their decision-making has always been atrocious.
Yeah.
Outside of the last few drafts where they've gotten sensational talent that can grow, they've always been bad at making decisions. They do bad trades, they make bad deals, they don't surround, or at the time they didn't surround Dame with the pieces that he needed to be successful even after CJ McCollum left. So this is characteristic of the Portland Trailblazers. So I 100% believe that Chauncey Billups, I believe this is how it went down. Miami offered this deal. Chauncey Billups probably said, this is great. Like, I'll take this right now.
Why would he take that?
Because you're getting Tyler Hero, you're getting 2 other additional players, multiple picks for the future. I can 100% as a player.
Can we say this real quick? All right, Tyler Hero, super dope, fly.
But
dresser.
Remember, of the talent that's already there.
I know, but Tyler Hero giving me 20, he ain't. Tyler Hero ain't moving no needle outside of social media. But ain't nobody scared of Tyler Hero.
The Trailblazers aren't going to win. We're talking about a young team that they're figuring out their identity just to be competitive. Tyler Hero would perfectly blend in that situation.
But you brought up the reason why I said that, because you brought up Chauncey Billups, right? So Chauncey Billups, what is he?
Chauncey Billups is a player first, remember.
But if he doesn't win, Ashley, over the next year and a half, does he get fired or not?
That may be a possibility, but I can tell you right now, Chauncey Billups did not see that deal and say, ask them for Jimmy Butler or Bam Adebayo. That was the GM,
yeah, of course,
and that was the owner.
I agree with you there.
100%.
Because that's where the player comes in. It's like Dame Lillard is asking to go to Miami. Why? Because he wants to win and he wants to play with Jimmy Butler.
And Bam Adebayo.
Yes.
Right. Well, listen, this is another level of interesting.
You know what I realized? You are so organization and management friendly.
Me? I am not.
Yes, as far as like when we start talking business and
because
structure.
I look at it from multiple angles. Like I can put myself in a position of an owner and see exactly why they try to like get. You know what? This is reminiscent of. This is reminiscent of the Utah Jazz and the New York Knicks for Donovan Mitchell. They wanted everything. And then ultimately what happened? They got less than they probably could have gotten in value, immediate value and future value from the Cleveland Cavaliers because they wanted to play hardball. And this is exactly a similar situation. But the situation gets another layer of interesting and emotional because just on Tuesday,
I saw this.
Drew Holiday was quoted as saying he, quote, wants to retire a Milwaukee Buck, saying, quote, I don't want to play for any other team. I think we have a chance to continue to do great things as the Bucks team and organization, so I want to be in Milwaukee. Obviously, we now know he was traded to Portland just 24 hours later.
Again, Ashley, can you guess what I'm going to say?
That's why you got to take care of yourself?
Yeah, why would it guess? Well, that's why, like, when I saw that, the first thing I thought about, here we go as athletes. Oh, we think that the owners, we think that the fans, we think they really care. Oh, I want to lay my roots here. How many, if we go out there, we buy these big old cribs, put $5 million into a property. And then you trade it 3 months later, 6 months later, thinking that
Robert Woods did when he bought the house in Tennessee?
Yes, he ain't the only one. Yeah. I did it too.
In what city?
That's why I'm saying
In what city?
Every city. I'm just playing. Not every city, but I did it in Chicago, I swear to you, right?
But you were there for a while.
I know, but let me tell you how I played it, because I did it with the Miami Dolphins, right? But the reason why I bought the crib in Miami is because I'm like, yo, this is home for me, regardless. This is headquarters. Doesn't matter where I play. Every offseason, I'm going to be here. So that made sense for me. So, boom, now I got a $4.2 million crib in Miami. I get traded to Chicago, okay? I'm renting. Makes no sense for me to go buy another crib. Now, for me, Ashley, this is where I am a little bougie. You and Chrissy said that your jacket's fly.
Thanks, appreciate it.
You're bougie with the clothes.
Yeah, non-bougie pretty much across
White team me, look. White team me, $20.
I bet that's white team.
Simple.
Like Balenciaga.
But I'm gonna have a nice watch on, and I'm gonna my head where I lay my head.
The chains are tucked in too, Brandon. I can see you.
But that's what I'm saying. This is a little baby chain. I wear the same thing. But my crib gonna be nice. So now I'm in Chicago, and you expect me to have $8 to $10 million in real estate? No, can't happen. I need another deal. So I waited 2 years for my extension. So I just signed a $50 million deal. Then I get to Chicago to give me a 3-year, $30 million extension. I went and bought a penthouse. I went, Ashley, Mishi. Here go $500,000. Redo the whole place.
Jesus.
I'm overlooking the beam. The lake, they voted this the best view in Chicago. Oh, we here. I'm in the news just like Drew Holiday. I'm a beer forever. You know, where you see Walter Payton, Brian Urlacher, I want my face to be right there, my name to be right there. I'm gonna go down as the best beer ever. I got all of this. I got an office for my foundation. I'm laying my roots.
Here we go.
3 months later, Brandon Marshall traded to the Jets. Oh no! So I feel you, Drew.
What was the real estate market like back then? Did you sell quickly?
Well, I got that place 50 cents on the dollar, so I got a good deal. I mean, I bought it good, but then
it was hard to drop.
It was hard to sell. You got to think about the market, and this is where we go. We put ourselves in difficult situations as players, right? When we buy these big houses, you got to think about the average person or the percentage of people that can actually buy a house over $1 million or $2 million. It's very small, so you might sit on these houses for a very long time. It's not a great market to be in. These houses, $2, $3, $4 million. But listen, you live and you learn. And I will be back in the market here. I'm gonna get me another house.
Listen, Florida's the best place to do it if you're gonna do it.
It's too high right now.
It's high, but it's a seller's market, not a buyer's market.
That's right.
But in terms of getting the most, if you have the funds of a certain,
Houston or Atlanta. Texas or Atlanta.
Well, we have no state tax here as well.
Oh, you're talking about state tax?
Yeah. And also, like, if you can afford if you're in a certain demo, you can get a lot for your money in terms of space, in terms of modern designs, in terms
I don't know about space.
It's not like New York or LA.
I don't know about space. I feel like Texas is where you get the most bang for your buck.
I mean, you get acres, but I feel like you can also. I feel like in Miami, certain places you can get a lot for your money. No,
heck no.
Okay.
But you get the nice scenery. The builds are amazing.
I will say we have a better market than like LA and New York in terms of getting a lot for your money.
Did you say thank you to Christio?
Thank you, Christio, for the compliment on my
What
jacket.
are you wearing?
So this is Fear of God, my pants.
Okay.
This jacket is, I actually don't know what this is. I just
Zara?
No, this is not Zara. I actually just got this off of
You a high-low? Are you a high-lower?
I'm a high-low.
You're a high-lower?
Sure, I'm a high-low.
Okay.
Yeah, so I may have like a design or something on the rest of it.
Amen.
I'm gonna start tagging my
How many
fits.
men you think know what high-low is? A lot of our women, they go out there and they go get something big, designer, then they might sprinkle a little Tarjay on top, right? It's called high-low.
Yes.
Know your lady.
High-low, baby.
High-low.
Okay, well, listen. Damian Lillard, he didn't, say much about this trade, at least not yet. But he did send out this tweet here. We can go ahead and throw that up there. Basically just thanking the Portland fans. He said the casuals won't be addressed, but the Trailblazers fans in the city of Portland that I love truly will be, and they will be addressed truthfully. Stay tuned. Excited for my next chapter. He added the Bucks. He also went ahead and retweeted this video, his last bucket in a Blazers uniform. Check this out.
Abaji just 2 of 7 tonight after that career night against Sacramento. There you go. Put a lid.
I'm sure Portland will miss seeing that. The Portland Trailblazers did win that game against the Utah Jazz. So his last game as a Portland Trailblazer was a win, and his last bucket was a 3.
Doesn't matter. Y'all wasted 11 years of his time. Look, he said it's Dame time. Wasted time. And I love where he's at right now, Ashley. I mean, aren't they the favorites?
Well, listen, in terms of offense, this is going to be a great team. Now, defensively, I feel like they got worse. Drew Holiday's a phenomenal
sensational.
defender.
Go ahead.
I'll say sensational defender. He
okay,
is.
thank you for correcting
He's
yourself this
absolutely
time.
great on that. So, offensively, they got much better. Defensively, It's going to be interesting to see how they fill that void. But they are, right now, I believe, the favorites to come out of the East when I look at the latest odds. Right now, the top 3, more than likely, is going to be Boston, Milwaukee, And that third spot is probably going to go to Miami.
You think it's going to be Miami?
I think Miami still has enough in the tank.
No, I'm not
to go
sold
ahead
on
and do
Miami.
that. And remember, they still have some spots to. They're still not done.
Who's your dark horse in the East right now? And for me, like
Cleveland.
I don't really. Oh, they played well last year. Team
Cleveland.
chemistry.
Yeah, I think Cleveland.
Spider,
I
is
think
he
you
ready?
always got to look out for Cleveland.
Look, for me, I don't know how. Look at Dame Lillard, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Brook Lopez, Bobby Portis, 14 points a game.
They're a big team.
10 rebounds a game.
They're big boys for sure.
Jay Crowder coming off the bench, and Chris Middleton. Chris Middleton had a down year last year. He was banged up.
He was banged up.
So you bring him back.
Listen,
I don't know how you beat this team.
That's a big team. Now, again,
last year,
defensively,
Dame
they're not
averaged
great.
33 points. 33 points. Think about that. Was it 32 or 33 points? Like, had a sensational year at 33 years of age.
But remember, we've seen this story, and I won't say they're as. I think they're a little bit more defensively gifted than Brooklyn
Don't
was.
do this. Don't say that.
Hold on. I think that defensively they're a question mark, and we've seen that you can't rely solely on offense to win because what happens in a game at any point? Your shot doesn't fall. So can you defend the other team from scoring? And that's going to be the question mark. You lost one of your best defenders. Actually, not one of your best defender in Drew Holiday. So it's going to be interesting. Offensively, this team's big in height.
Goodness.
They're big in size.
Well, then let's bring Jay Crowder. Jay Crowder, he wouldn't be sensational, but he's a good defender. That's what he does. Come on, man. We playing against KD and them guys. Go guard KD.
We'll see.
And
we'll see.
And KD's still going to drop 40.
Listen,
KD's still going to drop 40.
Basketball season is right around the corner. Training camp will kick off in about a week. Some teams have already returned back to their facilities. So we will go ahead and see sooner rather than later what this new Bucks team looks like. But we're going to shift to football now. And no change of heart for Jonathan Taylor or the Colts. Now, on September 10th, Ian Rappaport reported that the Pro Bowl running back Jonathan Taylor was healthy and able to pass a physical. And once he did, that you should expect, or we should expect as fans, for trade talks to resume, specifically with the Miami Dolphins. Now, it was reported that the Packers had offered to trade 2 mid-round picks for Jonathan Taylor, but those talks ended after the Colts asked for wide receiver Christian Watson as part of the deal. Now, yesterday, Dan Graziano of ESPN reported that Jonathan Taylor is still seeking a trade from the team, and it appears that the Indianapolis Colts still aren't interested in signing Taylor to a long-term contract. Right. Now, Taylor currently is on the PUP list, but Graziano added that it would not surprise him if the first game of Jonathan Taylor's season was in a different uniform.
Yep.
Brandon, it seems that we're at a standstill. This guy wants out, and the other one doesn't want to sign the papers. What are we doing?
This makes sense to me, and it should make sense for both sides, the player and also the team, right? Team doesn't want to pay. Player don't want to play without the pay. Just go your separate ways. Super simple. It's not this hard. It's not that difficult. You just went out there, drafted Anthony Richardson. He's showing signs that are really promising. You know, you can build around him. Let him go. Let him go. Like, why would you want to keep someone that's not happy? You don't want nobody. You know how that feels every single day in football season. We spend more time with each other than we do our wives or children. We're talking about one day off, and even that one day off, which is universally is on a Tuesday, you're still in the building watching film or doing some type of medical, some type of recovery. So why would you want a guy like this thinking about, yo, my life is on the line here. I get one opportunity to secure my future, and he's walking in with that tension in the cafeteria, in the training room, in the meeting room. You don't want that. Let him go. Let him go. So I definitely see him in a new uniform for his first game. That makes sense. And I love how he's moving. I love how he's moving. Look, Saquon Barkley, what did he say when he signed that one-year deal? I still have hopes that I'm going to be a Giant for life. 2 games in, high ankle sprain.
It's going to be interesting, though, because, again, listen, like I said, one remaining game on his PUP list. So basically, he's been out for 4 games. So the entire month of September, he has one more game to complete what the absence is when you are on that physically unable to perform list, right? That gives about a week for a trade to happen or to not happen. Playing devil's advocate here, let's say it doesn't happen. Let's say Jonathan Taylor, his trade request is not adhered, and the Colts have already made it clear they're not interested in signing him to a long-term deal. So you would be stuck in an organization, at least for the time being, that you know has no interest in paying you. Do you sit out?
No.
Do you risk possibility of injury knowing that you don't have a long-term deal on the table?
That's the inevitable in the NFL. Everybody, 100% injury rate. We all get hurt. Quarterbacks, running backs, kickers, everyone. The reason why I don't sit out, okay, I'm not playing the whole season, but I don't sit out the entire season because you got to go out there and you got to show, production. And people, I don't know why we think this way, but he took a year off. He's done. He's washed. How do you bounce back from a year off? Well, I mean, guys tear their ACL and Achilles all the time and come back and play, right? So if a guy just want to sit out and say, I'm resting, he can't get back to form. So if I'm Jonathan Taylor and I'm still in the Colts uniform, maybe the strategy for me is I get back out there when I feel 100% and I play 6 games, show that I'm still him and I'm still a premier back in the NFL, then I shut it down. Or, I may play the last 6 games, right? And then I shut it down. Or I go out there and I play enough, and when I feel like, I showed everybody that I'm still him, I shut it down. Hell, I did it.
Here we go, story time, folks.
I did it.
Grab your cups, grab
Josh
your snacks.
McDaniels.
Here we go. We're back to Josh McDaniels.
Josh McDaniels.
Okay.
He didn't want to give me the contract. He was playing. So I went out there. I mean, I played all 15 games.
Okay.
I played 15 of the 16. And then what ended up happening the last game, I made the Pro Bowl, got my 100 catches, got my 10 touchdowns, got everything I needed for my contract for little Ziggy and Zoe that was coming, right? We coming, okay? And guess what? Oh, hamstring! Something happened. I went out there, Ashley. I went out there.
Did you fake a fall?
It was warm-ups. Did
you fake a fall?
No.
Did you fake my leg?
It was warm-ups in Denver, Colorado. Snow all over the place. It's cold. We're not even running fast. You can't run fast. How the hell do I pull a hamstring? I ought to run a slam. Hammy. So I didn't play that last game, and Josh McDaniels was pissed. But look, I got what I needed.
Right.
My kids got what they needed. It's business.
Well, we shall see. Like I mentioned, one game remaining on Jonathan Taylor's PUP list. I guess you can call it, what's the word I'm looking for? His time frame, rather. So we shall see what happens of this situation between Jonathan Taylor and the Indianapolis Colts. Now, moving on, Bill Belichick, he says the GOAT answer is quite simple. In an interview with WEIE earlier this week, Patriots head coach Bill Belichick made it clear that Lawrence Taylor is the best defensive player ever and said he wouldn't put anybody ahead of him. He said, quote, I would just say I wouldn't put anybody ahead of Lawrence Taylor. Now, maybe I'm prejudiced, but I saw that guy every day for over a decade, and he tilted the field for a decade. So until somebody does that, and there's a lot of great players, and I'm not taking anything away from anybody else, there's a lot of great players that have been in this league, that are in this league, but personally, I am not putting anybody ahead of LT. Not yet. Now, the Patriots are gearing up for their Week 4 matchup against the Dallas Cowboys, and Bill Belichick did say this about Micah Parsons. He said, when it comes to similarities in physicality and athleticism, the only player that's close to the greatness of LT is Micah Parsons. Brandon, we've had this conversation before. I know for you it's Aaron Donald.
Yeah.
Are you mad at Bill Belichick and the comparisons to Micah Parsons? Do you see it?
I'm not, and he is biased, right? And I knew he was with the Giants, but I didn't know he was there for over a decade. Bill Belichick got to the New York Football Giants in 1979 as the special teams and defense assistant, and then he stayed there as then morphed into the defensive coordinator before he made his way to New England through the Jets. He was a Jets head coach for a day. So I didn't know that he saw them every single day, and that's why he feels the way he feels. But even if he wasn't there that long and he didn't have that type of relationship with LT, I can understand why he's standing on the table for him. You know, LT was different. LT is one of those guys that can travel. What do I mean by that? You put him in the 40s, he's going to be one of the best all time. You put him in, in his era, he was one of the best of all time. You put him in this era, he'll be able to still dominate and be the best of all time. Just Aaron Donald to me is just like, this is a guy that can play all four positions. And we've never, he's built like a safety. Meaning like his cut, his physique.
Well, yeah,
he has no
shape.
body fat. He's
shape,
fast.
Yeah.
He has amazing feet. He's one of the strongest on the field, right? His IQ is through the roof. Like he has no flaws, no weaknesses. And so for me, I still have Aaron Donald as 1. I'll put LT at 2. But also, there's some other guys. You got Reggie White, right? You got J.J. Watt could have if he had a couple more years.
And he wasn't prone to
J.J. Watt, if he'd have had 2 more years at that level,
right?
Oh, my goodness. He would have probably been the best ever. Like I always tell you that I seen J.J. Watt beat us himself. Like he literally, it was our entire offensive line, tackle, guard, center, tackle. Guard, center, 5 versus 1. He's on this side, Ashley. He go like this.
Yeah, J.J. Watt at his prime was a beast.
Deion Sanders,
the
top
Watt
5.
brothers in general, like.
Yeah, but I can see Micah Parsons.
Well, somebody in the chat said Micah Parsons is on LT's level and will surpass him at some point. What do you think of that statement?
We got to see.
Okay.
Gotta see. We've seen these hot starts before to a career. Von
Right.
Miller, J.J. Watt, the Watt brothers, Bosa brothers, like
right.
It's just like, defensive ends now are freaks. Like back in the day, Micah Parsons was a linebacker, damn near a safety.
Right.
Right. Like
so
the game has evolved.
Right. So do you think in that regard, it's kind of difficult to continually compare our current defensive players and their greatness in how they match up to LT because of how drastically different the game has evolved?
100%.
Okay.
100%, right? Like LT was like that back in the day as well. He still was a big guy he still was a big guy, but LT was a freak. The speed, the agility, all of that. Micah Parsons is like he literally can play if he wanted to. He can lose a couple of pounds and go play safety, right?
Or tight end.
He can play tight end. He might even be able to play running back. But I say that because the game is evolving, and also the players are faster, they're more agile, and we're not as big as we were, meaning like out in certain positions.
Well, listen, the Patriots and the Dallas Cowboys face off Sunday at 4:25. Brandon, who are you rocking with?
The Patriots and the Dallas Cowboys?
4:25 Sunday. Who do you got?
I'm going to go with the Dallas Cowboys.
Good man,
Yeah.
good man,
But
good man. I know
Chris
Theo won't like that, but good man.
The Patriots they looked good last week against my Jets. They looked good.
This is bounce back. We're not going to take 2 L's in a row. You know what I mean?
It ain't going to be sweet.
I don't think it's going to be sweet, but it's not going to go ahead and be 2 L's in a row. So.
We just talked about Bill Belichick.
Hey, man.
You don't believe in Bill Belichick?
I don't not believe in him, but I believe in my situation more. Shout out to everybody in the chat right now. Also, we want to go ahead and send love to Pamela. I know that she has been dealing with her health. So we are sending you love, light, and positivity, and we hope you feel better and get well soon. We're going to go ahead and continue talking about some football. So forget what you heard. Beef has no expiration date, all right? So check this out. Steelers legends Ben Roethlisberger and Jerome Bettis recently spoke about the 2004 AFC Championship game on Big Ben's Football and Podcast, and flat out said that they believe the Patriots cheated. Listen to this.
Dumb rookie.
It's grown, right? It's grown. It's grown now. Because if you think like, if your ass hadn't thrown 2 interceptions, we'd be in the Super Bowl. To me, get me to the Super Bowl. Shit. It's almost there. What you mean? You don't get me there. Shit.
Hey, to be fair, the Patriots cheated.
For sure they did. It's not even a question mark. It's not even a question in my mind. It was 4th and 1. It was 4th and 1. They called timeout. First of all, coach did this back in the day. This meant counter. They saw this. Coach called it. Offensive line coach did that on the sideline. They called timeout. Who normally goes to the sideline on a timeout? The defensive captains, right? They told the nose guard, Washington, they pulled him to the sideline. Big 400-pound guy, he don't want to go to the sideline and come all the way back.
Cold, right? It was cold.
What he want to go to the sideline for? They yelled and made him go to the sideline, and I always thought, where he going to? He went all to the sideline, came back. Then we run the play, he loops into the hole. Washington does. They stop us on 4th down, right? That's a critical play in the game. They had our signs, and they called a timeout to get them ready for that play because they knew it was coming. No question in my mind. I remember it vividly because I thought, why is this big dude going to the sideline?
But anyway.
All right, Red, I know you were cracking up watching this clip, but listen, we spoke about this yesterday when talking about the Patriots and the Dallas Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott, Will Grier are now both on the Pats, former Dallas Cowboys, and we spoke about how, stealing signs or asking former players about insight to certain calls and things like that is common practice.
Yeah.
So this is probably to them on a much different level. Kind of break down what you heard when you watched that clip.
Yeah, we talked about it yesterday, and there was 2 things that I brought up, right? Like, you can sign a player. Patriots and the Cowboys are playing. The Patriots can go sign a player just to get the signs, right, from the Cowboys. Some guy that's on the street that was there all offseason, all camp. Also, you can listen to the live broadcast, whether it's CBS, it's Fox, it's ESPN, because what you're hearing is Omaha, Omaha, Omaha Blue Gold, Spider, 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 Blue 60, Blue 60. And when you're hearing this stuff, you're watching what everybody's doing and say, okay, this was going on. And then you can also watch hand signals. And so, like, that's not the cheating. Like, Jay Cutler and I had to switch up our hand signals all the time. And then we actually use it to our benefit where second part of my career, instead of me being low saying, okay, this is go, so 1 is down, that's go, 2 is slant, 3 is out, 5 comeback. Like, instead of doing that low because you don't want them to see it, you start giving it to them. Jay, cut, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Boom, hit him with a go. It could be a run play, give him 1, 1, 1, hit him with a go. And then you come back like 1, 1, 1, 1. Like, I'm like, Jay, 1's down now. So 1 down, we gonna go here, we gonna go slant. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. They ass fly to the go, I'm going to the slant, right? So it's a chess match.
Right.
But what he's talking about is Spygate. And I think we all remember Spygate. What Spygate was Bill Belichick and the Patriots would show up at
cameras.
So when we fly into town or something, we might go, some teams may go do a walkthrough. Land the plane Saturday, let's go to this little high school field, college field. They had people in the boxes on the top. In the bleachers filming.
Right.
They would come to your camp. They would have people filming.
Right.
They would have so the way the film is broken up, our teams upload our film, game day film, into this database that everybody in the NFL gets.
Okay.
No, they got people in the crowd. They got people on the sideline filming this stuff.
Yeah.
Literally just stay on the offensive coordinator. That was Spygate, and that's what he means by cheating. And we had DJ Williams on the show. That's right. We had DJ Williams on the show, and DJ talked about this when Josh McDaniels got to the Broncos. That's probably why. So what he said was Josh McDaniels brought him and a couple others in, captains of the team, and said, this is what they're doing. right? And show him a special footage. That's what DJ Williams said. I wasn't in that meeting. He said, remember what DJ said was this. He said, he's like, remember we started off 6-0. We was hot. He said, bro, I'm thinking this and that. Josh McDaniels saying this and that. I said, we was cheating. We was cheating. He got the special footage and all this stuff, showing all this stuff. So that's what they do in New England.
Now listen, we will never know how much Spygate helped the Patriots win their 3 Super Bowls during the early 2000s, but it is clear to say, or it is safe to say rather, that several prominent members of the Steelers during that era feel that it played a major role in the outcomes of at least 2 AFC title games.
For
now,
sure.
Former cornerback of the Patriots, Asante Samuel, who went on to win a Super Bowl with that 04 Patriots team, that 03-04 Patriots team, called out both guys on social media for the accusation, saying, quote, "Are you crazy? This is what determined the outcome of the game. Tom Brady was better than Big Ben. Rodney Harrison was better than Troy Paloma. Corey Dillon was better than Jerome Bettis." Those are fighting words, but we got the clip so you can hear exactly what he said.
Steelers Nation, what's going on with y'all legends and Hall of Famers, Ben Roethlisberger and Jerome Bettis? 19 years later, you guys decide to be sore losers and say we cheated the 2004 AFC Championship. You claim that on a critical play on 4th down, y'all lined up and we called a timeout because we knew the play that was coming. We knew some signs or tips, or we had some type of information to figure out that play. You call that cheating? Are you crazy? This is what determined the outcome of the game. Tom Brady was better than Ben Roethlisberger. Rodney Harrison was better than Troy Polamalu. Corey Dillon was better than Jerome Bettis. And Asante Samuel was better than Deshae Townsend. It's as simple as that. Ain't no more to be said. We were better than you in pretty much everywhere in the game. And actually, I knew from that game, in front of everybody, the AFC Championship, Big Ben, you made me realize that I can be a player in this game.
I'm about to call him right now. I'm about to FaceTime Brody.
All right, we are FaceTiming Asante Samuel, but Rodney Harrison better than Troy? I mean,
he did say that?
He said that Rodney Harrison was better than Troy Polamalu.
Bro, you wild, bro. We on live TV right now, Zont. You wild. Bro, you can't go out there and push back on Big Ben and the bus like that. They telling their truth, bro.
Say that one more time.
You can't, we just played your clip because you can't hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. You ain't breaking up, is it?
No, I ain't breaking up. I'm good. How you gonna push back on their truth? The bus and Big Ben. Huh?
You said I'm on TV?
Yeah, you on TV.
How I'm gonna push back on that truth?
Bro, y'all was cheating, bro.
How we was cheating? That explanation was terrible.
Bro, Spygate, Zont.
We winning 24 at 3 at half.
24 at 3, y'all winning 24 to 3 at half because y'all had all the signals. So y'all know, when Big Ben gonna go slant. You know when Big Ben gonna go play action. You know when Big Ben gonna get out of the run and go to pass because y'all had all the signs.
That's a bunch of monarchy.
Phone to Mike.
What's monarchy? I don't even know what that means.
He meant malarkey.
Hey, it just sound like, hey man, guys getting older, they're feeling bad about situations when they can't seize the moment and stuff, you know what I mean? And, that's just the way it goes.
So y'all wasn't cheating, y'all was good? No, Spygate ain't the real thing?
Rodney was and is and have better production than Polamalu. And must I keep going? Because that's the truth.
Do you really believe that Polamalu, Rodney Harrison is better than Polamalu, bro? Come on, bro, Zont. Come on, bro. You my big brother now. Come on, you raised me, Zont.
Big. Bro, y'all caught up in what the media tell y'all. Y'all don't even know the truth about things.
Tell me that.
I have to come straighten y'all out all the time because y'all don't look at the facts. I don't care who don't like me about what I say. That's the difference. I'm telling the truth.
So how you going to say that Rodney Harrison is better than Troy Polamalu?
Does Troy Polamalu have 30 interceptions and 30 sacks?
He does not. That's all that matters.
Troy Polamalu, was he a better tackling machine than Rodney Harrison?
Absolutely. Not even close.
Go look up the stats.
Go look up the stats. Troy Polamalu impacted the game in a way that we've never seen.
Don't talk about unfactual stuff. Don't talk about unfactual stuff. We got to talk about the facts.
We got to talk about the facts.
Yeah. So I just named a couple of facts.
Can I ask the fact? Did y'all get reprimanded? Did y'all get suspended? Did y'all have to pay a fine for Spygate? Yes or no? Talking about facts. We gonna talk about facts. Yes. Okay. Really quick before we let you go.
Hey, I'm gonna say yeah. Right off the rip. I'm gonna tell the truth. Hey, we got reprimanded, right?
Yep.
And guess what? We was the only one that got caught, and nobody else got caught.
Oh, so you saying there was more people cheating?
More people filming each other, whatever they got caught doing, filming, whatever they want to say. It's called gaining the edge in the NFL. And if Mr. Bus, talk about it.
All right, last thing before we let you go. Bill Belichick still the greatest coach of all time?
He could prove it, but he still ain't proved it. So we waiting.
All right.
Pick 6 waiting for him to prove it. You know what I mean?
Right.
He got to prove it.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you this though.
Absolutely. Whoever say it's proven, they are out of their mind.
Hey, bro, I'm gonna tell you this though. I love that clip though. We've been talking about what you building over there. Hey, I see you. Tell the people where they can watch you real quick. Where they can watch you.
Hey man, check me out, man. YouTube, however you get your podcast, Apple, Spotify. Say what needs to be said. Check me out, man. You know I'm going in and I'm gonna say what needs to be said. With everybody, Brandon is scared to say what needs to be said on I Am Athlete. I'm gonna say what needs to be said. You see what I'm saying? Because Brandon helped me build that name. You see what I'm saying? So that's what we're gonna do.
I love, bro.
Hey, give me a heads up next time so I can be ready.
I've been asking you for 4 weeks to come on the show. What you talking about? You live right around the corner. Come on set.
I know. You could have called me. Yeah, you could have called. That would have been a good one.
All right, bro. Yeah. He lying, Ashley.
Well, about which part?
He talking about they was up 24-3. That's what he said. He said we was up 24-3 at halftime. So basically what he's saying is,
why would we have to cheat?
That's why they was up 24-3. Right? Everybody know that the Patriots was just doing things before everybody else. And it's not even just the cheating side. Bill Belichick is just different. So yes, there's the cheating stuff that they was doing, the Flake Gate, Spy Gate, this gate, that gate, more gate. And they was also like the first to really take 2-minute drills to a whole nother level. 4-minute operation. No score. So you talk about situation football, that was Bill Belichick looking at the numbers and playing the numbers game and having someone in the booth just to do that. Bill Belichick has someone in the booth just to say, hey, it's 4th and 1. The percentages says do this, right? They're different. And I don't know why he hates Bill Belichick, but he thinks it was all Tom Brady, and I disagree with him.
Well, I mean, his comparison of Rodney Harris.
Trash. Come on. Is anybody out there thinking that Rodney Harrison is better than Troy Polamalu?
I don't think he's better than Troy Polamalu, but I was surprised by. I wasn't surprised. Obviously, Brady was better than Big Ben. I think that's a fair. We can all agree with that. Corey Dillon better than Jerome Bettis. Do you agree with that? I
do not agree with that.
So those are the two that kind of made me raise my eyebrows.
But Corey Dillon was now Corey Dillon. It ain't. It's
not
close.
far off. But was he better?
Corey Dillon may have the edge. Jerome Bettis was just different. He was the bust. Like
right.
The game, like we're talking about a nose tackle playing running back, halfback, a fullback playing halfback. You know, the bus is, and I love seeing a bus like that. I grew up watching the bus. That was special.
Let's go ahead and ask the chat right here. Rodney Harrison or Troy Polamalu, who do you guys have at being better? And then between Corey Dillon and Jerome Bettis, who do you guys have as the better at their position? Do you agree with what Asante Samuel said? So let's go ahead and see. We have somebody, Marlon Burdett, said Dillon is better than Bettis. We have TJ Strickland saying that Bettis is better than Dillon. Let's see who we have here. Dillon can't touch the bus. We have someone saying that Harrison is better than Troy. We have Troy, we have Troy, we have Troy.
Whoever, y'all in that same boat with Asante Samuels, I played against both of those guys. Rodney Harrison was a cheater, just like his head coach. That's what he was. Hated playing against Rodney Harrison. He was one of those guys that, you know what I'm saying?
Got on your nerves?
He was one of those guys that you're in the tunnel, y'all might be fighting. Like, he was one of those guys. Look, fierce competitor. You know, he crossed the line. I ain't gonna call him a cheater. You know, that was so long ago. I'm not gonna call him a cheater, but definitely some skeptical stuff happening there. We're talking about the bottom of the pile stuff, that type of stuff, cheap shots, that type of shots, that type of stuff. Yeah, but Troy Polamalu, we're talking about a guy that was sacked the quarterback before he even has the ball in his hands fully, jumping over the center, jumping over a line to block a kick, picking off a ball, pitching it back. Like, this dude was different, taking people's helmets off. Troy Polamalu was feared. Troy Polamalu changed the way, not even changed the way, because there's been nobody since played the safety position the way Troy Polamalu played the game. Think about how Allen Iverson, he's got Steph Curry.
Right.
Put Troy Polamalu in that position. He would be in cover 2, Ashley. So cover 2, we got 2 safeties back, right? You got this, it's just you back here. So you got Ryan Clark over here, Troy Polamalu over here. You got to be back here 20 yards deep. He would be right there by the defensive end. And as soon as the quarterback say hike, he would run back there. It was just unbelievable, the stuff he did. And the defensive coordinator, they would let him do whatever. They didn't even coach him to do it. Say, whatever you want to do. His, innate, it's not even IQ. He just has this innate, but his innate ability, like his feel for the game. Oh, my goodness. He just knew it. He knew it. He knew when you was running. He knew where you're passing. He knew the tendencies. He knew everything. He knew how to get where he's supposed to get to in a timely manner. Special. I don't think the game will ever be
a freak of nature.
I don't think anybody will play that safety position the way he played the safety position. Not saying he's the best safety ever,
right?
But I'm saying the way he played it was just different.
Well, listen, from one conversation about cheating to another. Is there too much push on the tush push? That's a
what is going on?
Is there too much push on the tush push? Can you say that?
Too much tush on the tush push.
No, too much push on the tush push.
Too much push on the tush push.
Can you say it again?
Too much push on the tush push. Too much push on the tush push. Come on.
No, listen. Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts isn't giving any thought to people that are calling for the tush push to be banned. Now, the tush push is a play that has been almost perfected by the Philadelphia Eagles, and it's almost unstoppable on short yardage. Now, it's essentially a quarterback sneak with not only the help of his offensive line, but a little help from behind as well, a little helpful nudge from behind. Now, there has been movement throughout the NFL to get this play banned, but Jalen Hurts isn't giving much thought to those people, saying, quote, "I have no thoughts on it. We're the only people doing it as well as we are. Roll it."
Arguments that the play ought to be banned. What do you think of that?
I have no thoughts on it. We're the only people that's doing it as well as we are, you know. Or the guy want to be hurt for it too.
Now, Jalen Hurts isn't worried about it, but Rich Eisen is one of the people who are not fans of this play, saying, "I think it's particularly unfair." Here's the clip.
What Rich got to do with this?
I don't like this this Bush push thing. I don't like it.
Oh.
I know the competition committee was looking at what the Eagles do with Jalen Hurts, where he's under center and it's a sneak. And, you know, I know there's a quarterback sneak in football. It's a necessary play. I don't like putting two guys behind him like it looks like a victory formation, but instead it's a first down rugby scrum formation. I don't like it.
What don't you like about it?
I think it's particularly unfair.
Now, Rich isn't alone because Chris Sims also spoke out against this particular play. This is what he had to say.
But they know. And then, you know, the other thing that's going to stop it is, and which is like, if I was a defensive coach, I'd be going with go ahead hunting on the quarterback here. Go ahead. Let him have it. Dive over, go crazy, try to kill the quarterback. That's what I would do.
Okay.
I don't mean it
First
like
of
that.
all,
Yeah.
I didn't say that.
No, I did, but
I didn't say that. First of all,
but here.
Second of all, that's not what Chris means.
Yeah, I don't mean kill, but I mean just make them pay, make them think twice about doing it. But the other aspect is like, yeah, there's some teams doing it.
I mean, Brandon, this is a controversial play. It's worked a lot in favor of the Eagles. As Jalen Hurts said, they are the team that's doing it the best. And it is, I mean, almost impossible to stop. I don't think it's a moving unit. Like, it's almost impossible to prevent it from being successful.
It's a waste of time, and I don't think it is. To me, they're doing a really good job. He may be better at this than Tom Brady and those guys. We've seen this before. But I've always felt like the defense had the advantage because the defensive linemen, if they can get off the ball first and they can shoot low, they can't push. Offensive linemen can't stay up, just chop their legs out. And then what you should be doing if you're on the defensive side, I do agree with Chris Sims. They should be going out there and smacking the quarterback, but also, where's your linebackers? Where's your corners? Where's your safeties? They need to get up in the push-tush as well.
It's the tush-push.
What did I say?
But do you agree, though, that a quarterback sneak really only usually relies on the help of the offensive line and you get your quarterback over in short yardage situations? Now you're basically a moving unit. You're getting an additional push to be helped over that line. So really a quarterback doesn't even have to really do much in that situation. It's from front to back is being pushed into the situation that he wants to. Do you feel that that is unfair to a defense who technically can't stop the guys all the way back there?
I don't understand why that matters. I really don't, because nobody's getting hurt, right? And that means if you change that, like we can't push there, then we can't push anywhere. So for me, it's get your defensive linemen and get your linebackers in the weight room and stop them. So are they doing it differently than like the Tom Brady's of the world? Absolutely. But their offensive linemen shouldn't be 5 yards down the field. Defensive linemen, get off the ball first and cut them. And guess what? Everybody falls right there. That's what you see across the board. So I'm not, this is a waste of time. I don't even know why we're talking about it.
Because it is something that has been trending in the NFL. I mean, Rich Eisen basically, yes, a lot of people are calling for this play to be removed from the rule book, rather for it to be a legal play. And Rich Eisen's full quote, we didn't see it in the video, but he says, listen, the offense has the opportunity to shove a player at the defense as well as pull the ball out from that formation and throw it, so it's difficult to defend. It's almost impossible to defend. I think it's particularly unfair, which is why the competition committee is looking at it. Hearing that full statement, does that at all change your perception on it?
Not at all. Not at all. It's this, not at all. This is like, oh my goodness. Competition committee is wasting time. Do the competition committee, do they get paid? Because if they're getting paid by the NFL, then they're probably losing money, wasting money.
Well, I'm going to give you one more quote before we move on from it. We do have here, let me go ahead and pull this here, a few more actually. Last week, Peter King called the tush push an abomination to the NFL game. Do you think it's that severe?
I'm ready to move on from the topic.
One more thing, hold on.
No,
Chad Ochocinco and Shannon Sharp did break it down. They said, listen, if they're in alliance with how you feel. They said, look, if they're doing something that you don't like, don't let them get down in the red zone. No? No tush push? We don't care? Okay.
Tush push.
We're going to move on. Brandon doesn't care about the
Thank
tush
you.
push. Obviously, he's on the side of if you don't want it to happen to you, don't let it happen to you. That's where we're going to move on. Listen, Tom Brady is dropping major gems. Now, while appearing at the 2023 Vault Conference, Tom Brady dropped major gems that once again just solidify his GOAT status. Now, Brady spoke about the early days of his playing career and how he would only get 2 snaps in practice versus others who were getting anywhere between 10 to 20, saying he would complain to coaches about the lack of snaps, but he was told to make the most out of those 1 or 2 snaps. He said he went on to then change his entire mindset and treated those 2 snaps like it was Super Bowl 49, and eventually he saw them increase. He said, quote, "Whenever you get the opportunity, take advantage. Treat it like it's the Super Bowl. Treat it like it's game day. Treat practice like no one else does." Here's the full video.
You know, I would complain all the time that the guys ahead of me were getting more opportunity than I was. There was a certain amount of repetitions in practice. The starter would get 20, the backup would get 10, and I would get 2. And I'd go in and I'd say, well, how can I ever get better? All these guys get all the reps and I only get 2. And he said, just go in there and focus with the 2 that you got and make them as perfect as you possibly can. So I said, okay. So that's what I did. They'd put me in for those 2. Man, I'd sprint in there like it was Super Bowl 49. Let's go, boys. Here we go. What play we got? And I did really well with those 2 because I brought enthusiasm, I brought some energy, and I had a little more confidence in myself. And it went from 2 reps to getting 4 reps because those 2 were pretty good. Then I had 4 good reps. Then I got 10 good reps. And before you knew it, through this new attitude, through this new shift that Greg had said to me, you know, focus on what you can control. Focus on what you're getting, not what anyone else is getting. Whenever you get an opportunity, you take advantage of it. You treat it like it's the Super Bowl. You treat it like it's game day. Go out there and treat practice like no one else does. And I did that every single day.
We talking about practice? We talking about practice?
That's why he's the GOAT.
I mean, that's why he's the GOAT. I mean, this just speaks to Brady's mindset. I feel like, you know, we obviously have seen his GOAT status when it comes to what he does on the football field. We, you know, the image of, one of the images that constantly stands out in my mind is when they're down 28-3 against the Falcons in the Super Bowl, and they pan to Brady, and he just has this blank look on his face, like the eye of the tiger. Like, and I remember saying to my dad, I said, he's about to go crazy.
Right.
I'm like, the mode just switched.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
My dad's like, there's no way he's coming back from this. Why would you? Because my dad was a big Tom Brady hater.
Yeah.
I said, did you see the look on it? Like, the switch has flipped. Like,
That's
he is
right.
going to go into assassin mode. Lo and behold, that's what happened. They end up winning that Super Bowl. But even in his retirement, when he's doing these speaking appearances, we really now get to dive into the psyche, like his mindset. And I mean, going from the 199th pick to having just 2 snaps to prove that you could be a backup at minimum, to going from that to being the greatest of all time. I mean, Brady is just a different beast.
Yes. So 100%, and that's why he's the GOAT. And it's so cool to be able to see guys like him, and even the Kobe videos that still go viral, talking
about the Mamba Mentality book.
Yeah, their mindset and their approach. That what we just saw was Tom Brady in a corporate setting. The reason why I'm highlighting that is because companies study teams. How do you guys operate and function as a team? How does the Bill Belichick's and the Tom Brady's, the Michael Jordans think? We're talking about high performers. So they bring these guys in and they pay them a lot of money to be able to get those stories, and they're hoping that those stories can translate to their people and it can bring togetherness and also better performance and production.
Right.
Tom Brady is giving us the jewels. He's giving us the keys.
The keys, major keys.
My father used to say the same thing. Son, it only takes one play. He told me that when I was in middle school. Went from one team to a new team, one city to another city. So I was from one team to a new team. They didn't know who I was. Sit on the bench, one play. So I always say, one play, son. Got the ball, boom, 30 yards, made a couple people miss. Boom, now I got a couple more reps, So if you take advantage of your opportunity, okay, you're going to get more opportunities. But what we do is when we're not where we want to be, we start complaining. Our attitude changed. Think about what he said. Once he flipped that switch, he said, I ran in like it was the Super Bowl. Sprint, okay, boys. Brought the energy. And that's how you got to be. So if you want to be a high performer, study high performers. Can't get up at 9:30. You can't half-ass shit. You can't sit on the side twiddling your fingers, twiddling your thumbs, and not taking advantage of the mental reps. So in practice, and I'm going on the spiel here because I'm speaking to people out there, in practice, what you'll see from the great ones is I'm not out there, but now I'm going through my mental reps. Literally, I'm walking through it. So I'm gonna stop going on this rant right here, but I love this because Tom Brady is giving you the jewels, the keys to success at extremely high level. Now it's on you if you want that. A lot of people say they want it, but they don't really want to put in the work.
Well, I mean, on that topic, you've been obviously in practice and, you know, you were a starter, so it may have been obviously a little bit different for you. You weren't the 199th pick. But, I mean, how did you approach practice versus how you saw some of your teammates who may have been drafted higher than you approach practice? Like, did you see a difference between the guys who went 4th round, 5th round, versus the guys who were in the #1 draft picks or went the 1st round and had all the glitz, the glamour, and the fame and things? Did you see a difference between the work ethic there? Not saying talent, but work ethic.
No, I don't. Listen, it's about good or great or good or trash. Okay, I do believe that there are the prima donnas of the world or the superstars of the world that was, you know, stars from birth, 6, 7 years old, put on a platform or taking a platform. And so they approach it a little differently. But to me, it's just about, is greatness really in you, right? Because whether you go 1st round, 2nd round, 3rd round, 4th round, 199th pick, like you just have this different type of mindset, this different type of psyche. Kobe Bryant sat on the bench his first year, didn't he? Yes.
Yeah.
He sat on the bench.
Yes.
He sat on the bench. So, yes, I was drafted and I started playing my 2nd year. But that story I told about my father, that story held true in high school. When I had to move high schools and I was sitting on the bench, it's the same thing. Just take one play. Same thing in college when I went to UCF. Same thing when I got to the league. When I was playing for the Denver Broncos. Got my opportunity against Champ Bailey. Why is Champ Bailey going to go guard a 4th round guy that they drafted that they don't even know if he's going to play wide receiver? He might play tight end. I get my opportunity, I catch 2 balls on Champ. So I think it's mindset. And so what you see in practice with the elite is they approach practice sometimes even more intense, more aggressively than the games. And they embrace it and they love it. There's no plays off. And even on the side, they're still communicating with their team, their quarterback, their offensive line, and they're still getting those mental reps. And that's why Tom Brady is great. Julian Edelman used to tell me all the time, like, defense is up, offense on the side, him and Tom Brady will go through 20, 30 different plays and just walk through it or go even full speed while everybody else is sitting down.
Well, listen, speaking of Tom Brady, at the same conference, Brady spoke on not having friends in the league as an active player, except for the guys in the same jersey as him. And he said that athletes today are missing that, quote, killer instinct. Roll it.
Even when I watch sports today and I see, like, golf's a good example. I see these guys on the range. Yeah. Like, they're all buddies and their caddies are friends. And I'm like, that's not the killer instinct. That's just not, I don't know how you can want to crush the competition because they are your competition, but then to like have dinner with them the next night.
This is very interesting because when we, you know, I hear this a lot in basketball too, when you hear like Shaq and Chuck and those guys kind of talk about back in the day, the old heads versus, you know, how guys are now. They say the same thing. They say, I don't understand how you're friends and you're doing business deals, you know, how are Draymond and LeBron, you know, such buddy-buddy, but when you have to, it changes how you approach him in a game when the Warriors and the Lakers have to play each other.
Right.
Back in the day, we weren't hanging out with each other. I was trying to kill Shaq. Shaq was my enemy, and it wasn't until we retired that we now had a camaraderie, we now had a relationship. But in the trenches during the season, it was real beef. It was real animosity, and Brady's speaking to that same thing, saying, I don't understand how you could want to kill the competition when the competition was just at your house having dinner. I mean, Brandon, you were I feel like you were like in the middle between those eras. You were where guys were starting to kind of have relationships, across teams, and maybe, heading more into like the friendly era. And you were also in part of the era where guys actually hated each other. So like, seeing both sides of it, do you agree with what Brady's saying?
Listen, I consider myself a high performer, but Tom Brady was just different.
Right.
I mean, I had to be checked one time by Coach Mike Shanahan. I think it was maybe it was my second year in the league. No, it was my third year in the league. I already had 100 catches once, and then I was on my way to my second. So I'm feeling myself. And we're in the game, and I go to help the defender up. And in the next day, so we played Monday's film review, he puts it on the screen. He says, "What the f are you doing? Don't ever help them up." And I ain't think anything of it, right?
Like,
but that's the same way Tom Brady think and thought, right? Tom Brady, I'm getting goosebumps thinking about this. Tom Brady, when he came out the locker room, first off, when he came out the locker room, you're on the other side, there's like this glow. And this is why teams that are trying to get over the hump or beat a Warriors team, dynasty, right? Patrick Mahomes going to KC, going to Foxborough. The reason why it's really hard is because everybody has to be so tapped in to and at a different level that it's extremely hard to win, because you got these younger kids or even coaches. When a Tom Brady runs out, they're like, "Oh my goodness, that's Tom Brady. Oh my goodness, that's Bill Belichick. Oh man, this is Foxborough. This is when he had that." You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you gotta be really angry. You gotta also look at F Tom Brady. I don't give a damn about no Tom Brady. That Richard Sherman mindset.
Right.
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 And so when Tom
I'm better
Brady
at life than you.
When Tom Brady ran out the locker room, he would come out with this glow. But then he would have this look on his face, angry, and you knew don't go talk to Tom Brady. And then he would sprint up the sideline and run to the crowd and say, "Let's fucking go!" Right there. And then he turned around and we're looking at it like, man, this little skinny little white boy, what are he gonna do? Right? But he had so much power and so much energy around him that you was like, oh my goodness, we got to deal with Tom Brady for 4 quarters. And let me tell you something. You could be up 10 points. You could be up 10 points, 14 points in Foxborough or at home, and man, here come Tom Brady. Last story. Got me reminiscing. Now I'm sitting
That's
on.
That's great. Let's reminisce. We got the time, so.
Playing in New York, 2015. We go up in Foxborough. I never won in Foxborough, right? So I'm up in Foxborough playing against those boys on the Jets. Fitzpatrick, Eric Decker, a couple other guys, Darrell Revis, Antonio Camari. He got some dogs. We're in the 4th quarter. We're up by 8 points.
Okay.
We drive down the field, Ashley, in the 4th quarter, up by 8.
Okay.
I got a fade route. I'm on the right. Fitzy throws it to me. It's right on my left hip. Easy money. Easy money. I drop it. We're up 8, Ashley, in the 4th. I walked to the sideline, said, "Oh, I just lost the game." Tom Brady came back.
Damn.
I was like, because that was the opportunity to really go up and put the game away.
Right.
You didn't.
Right. You give him an inch, he takes a mile. I mean, so what he's saying, though, do you think that you're able to be friendly with the competition and still crush your competition? Or do you think that for the majority, obviously You know, Kobe Bryant had the same mentality, though. He said he didn't have many friends in the NBA. In fact, his family were his friends. And then he really nurtured his relationships probably around the Olympic team, you know, with Chris Paul and those guys. And then, you know, they kind of grew as he got further and further away from the game. But in the runt of it, he even said, like, I can't be a killer if I'm friends. And killers don't have friends. So do you think that most people, not the Kobes, not the LeBrons, not the Tom Bradys, most people are unable to separate friendship from competition when, like, in real time?
You know what, Ashley? I'm going to be honest. I don't know.
Like, you're not going to hit that guy as hard as you would if you didn't like him because, you know, like, you just had dinner with him and his wife. You know what I mean?
No, because I would hope that's not happening in the game, right? Like, there was a story, I think it was Jeff Teague or somebody, one of the Teagues. There's a couple Teagues, and he was talking about his brother was on the other side, and he said, oh, I'm about to give him 30, 40.
Yeah.
So if family can do it, friends can do it.
Okay.
For me, the reason why I said I don't know is because I fell in love with the process. Like, I would go out there and every step, okay, my right foot's here, my left foot's here, boom, I've been working on this one little move right here, bam. Okay, when I release, I'm gonna put my arm here. Oh, I know how this is supposed to feel. Now I slip him, now I get up. Now at the top of my route, right, left, right, stick it. Oh, flawless at the top, come back out of it, 45-degree angle. That's what I fell in love with, was the process. So it didn't matter who was in front of me. Like, I was trying to master my craft, right? And that could be the difference between guys like me and guys like Tom Brady. Like, that's what I'm saying. Tom Brady's different. They're operating at a different level all the time. See, I got into the mental health stuff. I got into all that, oh man, God, Harry Woos, all that. Like, I'm fighting myself. I'm in conflict. I'm in conflict with myself. These dudes, and it's the reality. That's why, you know, it's like when you're a high performer, that's why we're divorced. That's why we fucking don't have friends and shit like that. Because the only thing that fucking matters is get the job done. Do your job. You know what I'm saying? So, like, Tom Brady, every day, you got to think he's like this. He's sitting there having breakfast, Ashley. He's watching film. Giselle's over there, and Giselle's like, you've been gone for 16 hours. Can I get an hour?
Right.
You know? So.
Right. Well, listen.
Is that too much?
No. On the topic of Brady, I mean, the Celtics, they didn't play their cards right because Rich Kleiman was on All the Smoke, and he told a story about how the Celtics brought Tom Brady over when Kevin Durant hit free agency. And it was a way to entice Kevin Durant to join the Boston Celtics. Now, Tom and KD ended up going on a walk together. And later on, KD came back and told Rich Kleiman that Brady told him to look for the best team. And ultimately told him that he should go to the Warriors during his 2016 free agency and not the Boston Celtics. Check this out.
Wow. The Hampton Five. We've had a chance to talk to Draymond, Steph, and Clay, how that went down. What is your version of it?
Such a spectacle. Like, it was so over the top to have like a house in East Hampton and having like Pat Riley and Greg Popovich and Steph and Tom Brady flying in. And it really was like 10 hours a day at the house in the Hamptons, going through these just like insane meetings. For like a young hoop fan growing up, to be sitting across from Pat Riley was wild.
Give us some shit. Was there anyone else he really considered when he was leaving OKC? Was it Golden State the whole time? I mean, you mentioned Pat Riley, that's obviously the Heat. Any teams that he really gave a, hey, this can possibly work as well?
I remember when the Celtics came, so it was the Celtics ownership and Danny Ainge and then like Jay Crowder and I think Kelly Olynyk was there. But here came Tom Brady. So it was like, all right, shit, they really trying to level the playing field. So they went to take a walk together, I think.
Brady and KD?
Yeah. And then later on, KD was like, so he told me I should, bottom line, look for the best team, best organization, best chance to win, no matter what. I think Brady just told me to go to the Warriors, bro. This was not some easy thing for KD. Like, yo, where's the 73-win team? Like, this shit was about him really going inside his mind. And he relies on the game, and he made the decision based on basketball, and it all happened there. And there was never really anyone else because once he went through all of that, it was clear.
Listen,
Beautiful
the Boston
story.
Celtics might want to see if that check cleared or not, because that is not the way that they thought that was going to go down. Obviously, you bring Tom Brady into a meeting. At the time, he is Mr. Boston, Mr. New England. Like, there's not a more famous athlete from Massachusetts than Tom Brady, right? Or in Massachusetts rather than Tom Brady.
So is this 100%
Boston,
correct?
Rich Kleiman wouldn't lie.
I'm saying the Celtics sent Tom Brady?
He brought Tom Brady in as a way to sweeten the deal. Listen, you would think when you think championships, when you think Boston, you think Tom Brady. They probably thought this is going to work in our favor. This is going to be fantastic. But Brady said, hey, I'm all about the wins and the losses. And if you want to be a winner, come take a walk with me. I mean, if you're in Boston and you hear this story years later, are you like, God damn it? Like,
Yeah,
what the hell, Tom?
Look, Tom, we love you. We appreciate you. But no more courtside tickets for you. No more VIP access for you. Like, no, you can't even come in. But that's Tom Brady, though. It's actually a beautiful story.
Could you imagine
it's all
the
about
Jets
winning.
bring you in to recruit a wide receiver, and you take him on a walk, and you say, hey, man, don't come here. Like,
Oh, I've done that.
could you-
I've done that to UCF before.
Oh, wow, okay.
But you just got to be real. It's like UCF, they bring their legends out, whether it's myself or Asante Samuels, and you have all these recruits. You think about what would you do, right? You got all these recruits, and they got this 5-star guy that has Florida, USC, Florida State. And they're like, we got to get him, right? So you're going to go to UCF over Florida State, right? Because like now you're playing with this person's life. Like you're supposed to give the best advice possible for them, not for you.
Right.
Right? So yeah, I've been in situations before where I'm like, look, man, at UCF, this is what I used to tell recruits. Now it's a little different because we're in a better position. But I used to tell recruits this, I'm like, who you got? Okay, let me be real for you. So at UCF, you're going to build what UF has already built, or FSU. So you're a part of building the legacy and what UCF will become. You will come in and play right away. So if your goal is that, then let's go here. But if you want to go and really, like, you're talking about $1, $2, $3 of biscuits, all Florida Gators, stand up, like tradition and all of that.
Right.
No, NFL scouts all over the place.
Baby.
Yeah.
Well,
You got to be
listen.
real. You got to be real. I appreciate. Actually, if I'm the Celtics, I'm hot. But I appreciate this from Tom Brady. Tom Brady gave KD the absolute best advice.
Well, listen, speaking of advice, these guys are going to be searching for some advice too, because these are 7 players that could be on the trade block as the deadline approaches. We have Raiders wide receiver Davante Adams, who expressed unhappiness with the Las Vegas Raiders and how quickly they are becoming competitive or not becoming competitive. Obviously, we spoke about earlier in the show, running back Jonathan Taylor. We have Ravens linebacker Patrick Queen. We have Titans QB Ryan Tannehill. Eagles DE Derek Barnett. Jets running back Michael Carter. And Cardinals safety Budda Baker, who has had a contentious relationship with the Arizona Cardinals, it seems like all offseason. Brandon, which one of these names do you think is the most realistic to be moved or traded, rather, by the deadline?
Yeah, can we throw that up there again? I was shocked that Ryan Tannehill was up there. I was shocked that Queen was up there. Not surprised by Jonathan Taylor. Not surprised by Davante Adams. I said this a couple shows ago. I think it's going to be hard for Davante Adams. There's a lot of amazing wide receivers in the NFL now, especially young, talented wide receivers. If I'm, Davante, his market isn't huge, right? Because I would assume that he wants to go to a contender. I would assume he wants to go to a team that has a really good quarterback. So if you think about that, like, where is it going to be? Ryan Tannehill there, that's interesting. Jonathan Taylor gets moved.
That's one. Give me your top 3. One,
so Jonathan Taylor, I don't know. Davante Adams, I would say, would be 3 and 2. Do we have the photos of the other 3, or is it just the 4? Let me see those photos again.
I'll give you the names.
All right, so we got this one. Do we have another one or no?
No, this is just the 4 we have. So it's
it's
Jonathan Taylor, Davante Adams, Patrick Queen, Ryan Tannehill, Derek Barnett, Michael Carter.
Let's go.
And Budda Baker.
Let's go. Budda Baker's hurt right now. So let's go Jonathan Taylor. Let's go Devontae Adams at 3. And then we'll go, I don't know. I just give you those 2.
That's fine.
Because I don't know, like, why is Queen on here? Like, they're sitting here in a Division 2 and 1. You know, he's been playing decent ball the first 2 weeks. I watched the last game, and his name was all over the broadcast. Why would you be thinking about moving him? I don't know.
I don't know, but we will see as that deadline approaches. Now, we do have a big game coming up on Saturday, Colorado and USC. Now, the celebrity game list has been revealed, and there's a lot of names on the list, okay? So check this out. We got LeBron James and Bronny James. Obviously, Bronny James is a USC student, so LeBron and Bronny will be repping the USC side. We have Jay-Z, who is going to be making an appearance.
Wow.
We have Snoop Dogg, who's going to be on the USC side. We have Weezy, he's back for things. DJ Khaled's going to be in the building.
Wow.
Matthew McConaughey is going to be in the building. Now,
This is
that's a big
insane.
deal because Matthew McConaughey is a die-hard Texas Longhorns fan. So he is missing a game in Texas for Deion Sanders and USC to battle it out. Wow. And Will Ferrell will also be in the building. He'll be on the USC side, though. But, I mean...
Any of the Kardashians?
I don't have any of the Kardashians on this
Stay
list.
away from, stay away.
No Kardashians on this list, but
Shador,
I mean,
Shiloh, stay away. Hey.
Brandon, this is crazy. I feel like we haven't seen this type of celebrity.
Yeah, this is different.
Maybe since Reggie Bush played at USC was probably the last time I can remember, at least in the Pac-12.
That's right. You're right.
Like that many famous
college football.
Yeah,
period.
College football in general, but specifically like the Pac-12. Like was the Reggie Bush USC era.
No, think about it. Where else did we see this? Like you'll see one-offs.
Yeah, like
but you don't see no list like this. This is
probably last was Reggie Bush era.
This is Delilah's. This is Live nightclub on a Sunday.
This is the nice guy.
This is nice guy. Yeah, right. Ashley, remember for like a year I've been saying, since we've been doing this show, I don't watch college football.
Mm-hmm.
I don't watch college football. This is going on what, week 4?
Week 4.
I've watched
every single game.
Every weekend.
Well, week 5, I think.
So I've been watching every single weekend, Ashley. Now, I've been leaning towards the Buffs because of Deion, like everybody else. But what's happened is now I'm starting to pay attention to other teams. Like Deion Sanders is making me a college football fan, not just Colorado Buffs.
Right.
I've been watching Saturday. I can't wait. Oh shoot, I got to get back. Okay,
you know
Ziggy, hurry up, hit that last volleyball. The Buffs is about to play.
You know what's interesting about this though? Like if we're gonna be honest, I mean, the amount of even when we talk about, I think that the amount of star power that's gonna be at this game, in a game that let's call it what it is, they're probably going to lose.
No, don't say it like that.
I mean, this is the number 8 ranked team. This is the number 8 ranked team in the country. I don't think it's going to be a blowout like it was in Oregon, but I think most people are expecting that Colorado's going to lose this game.
Well, the reason why I say that because the matchup's different, right? Like big on big offensive linemen versus D-line, vice versa.
That's why
they had no chance in Oregon. USC's more finesse, so they will have an opportunity.
They probably are going.
Right.
Could they win? Absolutely,
Yep.
but they're probably not going to beat USC. USC is just the better team. They're number 8 in the country, so it's a high possibility they're not going to win this game. That doesn't matter. They're still showing up to see it. They still are there to watch this game. It's absolute. Name another program that can have this kind of star power rolling up to a game that they probably are not going to win.
We've never seen
You can't name one.
I mean, I don't even know. It's Super Bowl, not even NFL. Now, there's some Monday night football games, Sunday night football games, right, where you'll see a handful of celebrities. At the Rams may have a few more. You'll see some games like that for sure. But, no, it's Deion Sanders and the Buffs.
Right.
And Super Bowl. There's nothing else bigger than this.
It's going to be one hell of a
Knicks,
game.
The Garden, the Staples Center.
Right.
Man, and football, I don't see it.
It's going to be one hell of a game.
Are you watching?
Yes, I'm watching.
What
and I
time
believe
is it?
this game is in Boulder, if I'm correct, right? Let's go ahead and look this up. I believe it's in
Colorado isn't.
Yes, it's at Boulder once again.
Wow.
Jay-Z's gonna be in Boulder, Colorado, guys. Come on.
Dion got Jay-Z.
They got LeBron and Bronny showing up to Boulder, Colorado.
Wow.
I bet Jay-Z can't even spell Boulder, Colorado. That's how much he doesn't know where it is. He goes to Aspen. He ain't worried about Boulder.
Don't sleep on Boulder.
This is crazy, the
Boulder's
amount
nice.
of star power they're building, they're bringing to Jay-Z in Boulder, Colorado.
wild.
Can you believe it?
That's wild. But that's what I said yesterday. I'm like, you know, there's some people that don't understand what's happening, right? The coach comes out, the Oregon coach, and I said this yesterday, and we talked about it before. All the people that was watching before watch again. I said, it's not about this game. It's not even about, you know, this year. We are proud of Dion, and everybody's going to continue to show up. They coming, okay? So this is they may lose. I see Demetrius Carter has USC winning 45-35. Hell, that might be the case. And guess what? The next week is going to be another celebrity list like this. Maybe the Kardashians might show up.
Oh my God! All right,
when they
listen.
show up, you know it's over with. Have they been to a game yet? Has Kendall
I don't
or
believe so, no.
Kylie or?
I don't.
Do they got any babies?
They're
any
in
other
Paris
ones?
Fashion Week. They're doing.
Oh, now they
other
got
things.
kids coming up too.
All right, well, listen. We got a Thursday night football game we got to preview. Brandon, you ready for this?
Let's do it.
All right, so the Detroit Lions will face the Green Bay Packers, all right? So Detroit is a 1.5-point favorite in this matchup. The over-under, 46 points. The money line, Lions minus 125, Packers plus 105. Now, the Lions are 14-6 against the spread in their last 20 games. Lions are on a 3-game winning streak versus the Packers. That's an interesting stat. And the Packers are 11-9 against the spread in their last 20 games. Packers are 14-4 in their last 18 home games. This is a game that's going to be played at Lambeau Field. Brandon.
Listen, why do I do this to myself? My head says take the Lions, but my heart, my gut says go with the Packers. The Packers, they had a comeback win this past weekend. They didn't look great in the first half, but they turned it on in the second. I love what I saw.
Both teams are 2-1 right now.
Yep, both teams are 2-1. I love what I saw in person in Chicago. Jordan Love, he can play ball.
Jordan Love is surprising some people, and people like me. Because remember,
Right.
I was one of those people who said, I don't know what kind of quarterback he is, and I've never seen him play.
Is
so.
it too early for us to say that he can play ball? Remember, he only played 6 games before
Maybe
this.
a little too early.
You think so?
Let's revisit like week
I saw
7.
a coach break
But he
down
looks
this
good.
play. I was watching a little clip on Twitter or Instagram this morning, and his coach, Matt LaFleur, was talking about this play. Boom, he drops back. His offensive lineman missed somebody. It was a linebacker or defensive lineman coming, and he's about to get hit. The dude his receiver had a 15-yard in cut. He's about to get hit. He throws a sidearm like this, releases the ball. Ashley, the receiver, isn't even around the defender. He's not even in this break yet. He sidearm, about to get hit, put the perfect touch on it, and it was right on the money. And Matt LaFleur is like, there's only a few guys that can do this. I'm saying all that because you got to think about it. This is his first year as the starter. And we talk about mid-season form. This team is going to get better week after week after week. I think they're going to start faster, and I think this is going to be a really exciting game. I'm excited to watch him. Jordan Love is like that, man. I'm impressed. It might be too early for you, but I'm gonna say he is QB1 for a long time in Green Bay.
Well, I mean, listen, the Lions are nothing to sleep on. They are looking better than people may have.
Who is this quarterback? Look at you.
Dang, we didn't even give Jordan Love no love. That's crazy.
Look at this guy.
Who's this? Whose man is this?
Get him, bro. Let's get a wild of this dude. Who is that? Who is this player? He's going to be playing tonight? What's his name? I don't know. So who are you rolling with?
I'm going with the Lions. They're the 1.5 favorite. I do think it's going to be a close game, but I do think that Jared Goff is going to have the edge here. The Lions have looked good.
For sure. They look
Lions
really
have looked good.
They're a really good team. So, Ashley, that means that they have to win by 2. I don't want your heart broken tonight.
My heart's
I
not
don't want
gonna
your
be
heart broken tonight. Let's say the Lions win. It's 28-27. You still lose.
I mean, that's okay.
Oh, so are you picking them just to win, or are you picking against the spread?
No.
Oh.
I'm just picking them to win.
See, that's what makes the game. That's what makes the game interesting and fun when you pick against the spread. I can see why people gamble. Because I'm like, I didn't get it a couple years ago. I'm like, why are people doing this? Even if you just put like 25, 50 bucks on it and you put a parlay or you pick against the spread, you're really watching.
Listen, we are going to we have one more video that we're going to play for you guys, but just want to go ahead and share this information. The USL and the XFL officially have announced their intent to merge. They put out a memo today. We spoke about this a few shows ago. The memo says, today the USFL and the XFL announced their intent to merge, subject to customary regulation and rules, blah, blah, blah. More details regarding this new league will be announced at a later date. So we have the official announcement that both the USFL and the XFL have that they have intentions on merging and becoming one major league. So this is good.
Yeah. If you want to go far, go together. You want to go fast, go alone. There's no need for them to compete. You're not going to compete against the NFL. And then now, XFL, USFL, you're going to compete to be secondary, and ratings are going to be low on both sides. I love what XFL is doing, so hopefully the USFL is coming along and is going to follow what they've been doing from just a brand standpoint and a product standpoint. But like you said, I believe it was Monday. Was it Monday or Tuesday?
I think it was
when you
last
talked about
week,
this, or was it last week?
Yeah.
When you talked about this, it's like, we need this. This is our D league. This is our farm league. There's a lot of
the minors, essentially.
Yes, exactly right. There's a lot of guys that are in between college and the NFL that can still be stars or 10-year, 12-year players if they just had another year or 2 to develop, maybe even 3. Quarterbacks, offensive linemen, corners, wide receiver. If you a wide receiver and if you ain't got it, you just ain't got it. Like, for real, receiver, you think about it. And it's getting there for the DB as well. The game changed. Why? Right. Why is there like the Justin Jeffersons of the world able to come in, Zay Flowerses of the world coming in, playing at that level? That's when I came in, the game was way too fast. Man, there was so much going on. Like, we didn't know how to get off jam, coverage. It took a year just to learn. Champ Bailey there.
This could be also the merging of these 2 leagues could be interesting when we talk about the eligibility for college students. One thing that you can do in the NBA is forego college and go to the G League or play overseas. In the NFL, you're not able to do that, obviously. That's always been a stipulation. It's 3 to 4 years, right? That you have.
No, so NFL, you have to stay 3.
3 years, right? Minimum.
You come
3 years.
You come out your senior year.
It could be now that if you want to forego that 3rd year, go straight into the XFL, USFL league. That could be something. It could. I'm saying that now that the leagues are merged and they're one giant league, that could be, an alternative changing eligibility.
Maybe that's good for the. We'll see.
Well, you mentioned wide receiver, and our final video of the day is this 49ers fan. He's a kid. His reaction to Mike Evans giving him his gloves. Now, again, he is a 49ers fan. He's decked out in 49ers gear. But that doesn't matter because he got a priceless gift from one of the greatest, and that's Mike Evans. Check this out.
My dad took me to my first game, and this happened.
God, man. Was that crazy or what? What just happened? It's only 4 touchdowns, fellas. Oh my gosh. Son, what just happened? That is so awesome. I got
cute is that? I mean, Brandon, have you ever made a kid's day by giving him gloves, shoes, cleats? What was like the best memory you have of doing something like that?
You know
First
what?
of all, it's impressive that I don't know if Mike even saw he was decked out in 49ers gear. Not that it would matter, but
well, well, what's cool about where I'm at now is I'm done playing ball. And so now, like, when I travel, I might run into somebody and like pull out a photo like, hey, here's you and my son when he was 4 or 5. Can we FaceTime him now, right?
Aww.
Or run into them and taking another picture in that same type of position. Or like I was just at the UCF game and a lady was like, you signed these, she was crying. She's like, you signed these cleats for me? We auctioned them off because my daughter was going through some chemo. And like first she was just screaming my name. And I'm like, I wasn't turning around. I was like, don't look, because if I turn around, then everybody going to swarm me. Just keep. But she was like, Brandon, please turn around, please turn around. So I go to the gate. I'm like, yes, ma'am. And she's like, I got to show you this. These cleats, they help me do this, da 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 da. And she's crying. She's like her baby. So like that's what's cool now. So obviously, I think there's a lot of players that do this, right? What I thought was cool about this, it seemed like they were going out to the game. Usually, it's when you're coming in and you're done. Okay, here, take my gloves, take my cleats, take my wristbands, it doesn't matter. But he was going out to the field, right? And that's kind of like messing up a player's routine a little bit. For Mike Evans, I think he was going out there to go play. To turn around, give him his gloves, that says so much about Mike Evans. He's just a class act. I love Mike Evans. When he came out, he trained with me. You know, I saw it then, like this dude was just a special person. And all he wanted to do is damn run go routes and post routes.
What's the most prominent memory you have of like giving like a fan or a kid or something like a part of your gear, like gloves, cleats, a jersey?
Right.
Like what's the biggest memory you have?
What I love doing is being in situations, like not now situations, but saying, give me your number or give me your email, give me your address.
Well, you weren't doing that as a player, were you?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So not now situations and surprising them. Or even, you know, there's people like, I love Saquon Barkley, or I love, I love Jay Cutler, I love Devin Hester, and then going to get them to sign something and sending it to them. So those are the coolest moments for me because I know, like, man, like he remembered, right? So those are cool. I will say this to all the, fans that send out cards. I probably got like in storage. This is what I'm not good at. Ashley, in storage, I have boxes of and they still come into the facility every day. Like I have boxes of cards and
trading cards?
Yeah, people send, hey, can you sign these and send them back?
Damn.
Because when I was in the league,
right.
When I was in the league,
Panini
we
cards?
would have a day where it's like, all right, let's knock out all these cards, boom, and then your assistant will sign them, whatever.
Right.
I mean, send them back. Now I'm not in that routine anymore, so it's like I literally just got a bunch of people's.
You were in Chicago recently signing a bunch of stuff.
I got paid for that.
I know, but you were there signing things, and
I got paid.
but that was cool, right? Like people were coming. No, you got arthritis of the hand.
No, I'm. Well, here's my thing with the signing. Like I don't sign a lot, and like that's my first time signing in maybe even almost 10, maybe that's my second time signing in 10 years. Because my whole thing is I'm not going to sign. Go to those things where they pay you to sign. I'm not going to do that every year because now your signature goes from $20 a signature. Goes from $45 to $50 a signature to 20.
Right.
So you kind of devalue yourself. So I'm waiting for when I'm 50, 60. No, it is. It's a game. Seriously. If you see your players always out there signing, they're always doing these signings, they're devaluing themselves.
I got an Emmitt Smith jersey signed by Emmitt Smith at Super Bowl LA.
I think Emmitt Smith was there. There was that trading.
It was for my dad. It's hanging up in the house.
Really?
Yeah. He not only signed the Cowboys jersey. It was a vintage jersey, obviously, because it was from the 90s. But he also gave me a bottle of tequila. I couldn't take it back with me, obviously, because I was on a plane.
When was this?
At Super Bowl LA, he was there promoting his when I was with Sports Illustrated.
What you doing?
He was then supporting. He was promoting his tequila, and he opened the tequila. We tried it on air, and I was like, "Oh, it's good." And he was like, "Oh, do you want it?" And I was like, Sure.
It was his tequila?
It was his tequila.
Oh,
and he
okay.
gave me his bottle of
Well,
tequila.
that's better. I thought he was, you know what I'm saying, trying to get spicy.
Oh,
with Miss Ashley Nicole Moss. You know he's single too now.
I don't know his personal business.
Can you date a 55-year-old?
I do know that he was extremely nice, and it was an incredible honor to meet him. Like I told you, I've met. Oh my God, are we doing this one right now? Andrew, please cut me. Please end this show right now.
Hold on one second. Oh, let's get his age. 54. He's 54.
Save
May 15th.
me. No.
1969.
No. 69. My dad was born in 66.
69. Emmitt Smith. Ashley Nicole Moss. Can we get a side-by-side?
Brandon, please, for the love of God. Okay, guys, listen. It has been an absolutely incredible week here at Paper Route. Thank you guys so much for joining us. And if you are listening on Sirius XM Faction Talk 103, thank you for listening to us. If you want to go ahead and check out all of the video portions of the show, head over to the I Am Athlete YouTube page. Enjoy Thursday Night Football. Enjoy Colorado USC.
Pack.
Enjoy Sunday's slate of games. And we'll be back on Monday to break it all down and also to preview Monday Night Football. Bye, guys.
Who's playing Monday night?
I'm going to be honest, I don't know. It's not the Cowboys, so I don't care.
Cowboys got who again?
We got the Patriots.